Hello, Hasu. I want to speak about the process of learning, which is one of the main problems in life. There are some things that are very important in life, like dealing with other people, how you deal, how you relate yourself, you relate with other people. Other things in your health, what you do for your physical being. Do you exercise? Do you eat properly? Do you eat uh, healthy food? Do you have healthy habits about sleeping, waking up, whatever? So, dealing with other people, dealing with your body, and that is also common in animals. Animals, dogs, can have a good temper and being good friends with other dogs or not. Dogs can they clean themselves, they lick their body, they run, whatever. They eat properly if they can. Uh, and this is something common with animals. But another thing that is partially common with animals, because even animals have to learn some skills. Birds have to learn how to fly. Some animals need to learn how to hunt. And I think there's some inborn abilities and there's acquired skills. So dogs, when dogs they play, you see like they are playing, but they are mimicking things and they are useful when they're going to hunt. So one of the major problems or need occupation in life is how to learn how to learn. That means when you learn a foreign language, when you learn new skills, when you learn how to play, how to sing. Some people seem to be successful mostly at everything they do. Why? Because they have found some commonalities about different learning, because every kind of learning has their differences, but there are some things that are in common. First of all, most of things you learn, and speaking about mostly about things, there are abilities rather just knowledge. I mean, playing a musical instrument, speaking a language, learning how to sing, how to drive, uh, how to shoot, are abilities. What's the difference between an abilities and knowledge? Abilities need constant confirmation, constant repetition. Knowledge, if it's a long-term knowledge, it's a different. Mm, Mostly when you learn history, geography, yeah, you have to repeat, but you don't need every day to. It's just a hardware. It become a software that become hardware in your mind, if I can make this comparison. And really, if it's a long-term memory, you will never forget. But a history professor doesn't wake every day repeating his history. Yes, he knows history, but doesn't face it like a skill. Whether somebody who or a mathematician is more, you know, theory. Once you know the theory, it's very difficult to forget something that is very logical. Uh, but most of other things that involve movements, even speaking involves some movements, playing an instrument, your body, like also uh, a gymnast. So people who learn these things found their commonality. The first thing is that we mostly have to do every day on a regular basis. Second thing, you need to work along your edge, threshold. I mean, you never improve if you are able to jump 1 meter 50 and you train, or you need to work on 1 meter 45, 49, and you try 55, 56, around your threshold. So every day around your threshold, basic things that you need to do every day, like warming up and honing your abilities. That means working on your weakest link. If I'm very good at strumming, I try to learn finger picking and vice versa. Singing, honing your abilities, checking if your pitch is right or is wrong, finding what is the point, what is the reason why I'm out of tune. I know when I am out of tune when I belt out, so my problem is mastering belting. Sound, my sound is quite good. It became better, so I have to work on what? I listen to other musicians, other singers, where I find better expression, musicality. They have their musicality and they bend their voice. They do things that make music interesting. Not only interesting, but make their music their own music. They have their own personality. How you find your personality? Playing or singing and doing that a lot. A lot. And checking. Now you can check yourself easily. How before it was quite difficult because you have to record yourself. In the past it was difficult. Now you have not only you can record your sound, but you can record your image, so you can see if there is a problem in your posture when you sing, the way you put your fingers, the way you put your thumb behind your instrument. You can check everything, and that's very important. Checking. Listen to what you've been doing like it's somebody else. Being objective. I still find that however good I sing, and I improved a lot, there's something always a little bit amateurish. Some songs, rarely, for some, most of the parts sound almost professional concerning the singing, but not 100%. I mean, however good you sing, if some moments you seem to, I don't know how to put it, but you hear something that you will never hear on the radio. And that is, if you can listen to what you've been doing, singing, and not paying attention like it's radio, you forget, oh, it's myself, it's me, so, it sounds good, it happens, because when you listen to yourself, sometimes you discover you were bad, but sometimes you also find out that you were better than you imagined. So, don't get discouraged. People who have been achieving things know that some improvement happens only in time. So you don't have to let time roll pass away, but you don't have to force things. Some things need time. You know, you have to distinguish things you can improve on the spot or things that you can work on even now, but the results are going to come in the long run. Okay? So it's a mix of many things. Obviously, having a teacher make things smoother. Okay? But remember that having a teacher is not an excuse. Some people, yeah, I know I have a teacher, I get English lessons, so I'm on a good path. No. Teacher cannot learn things instead of you. And then teachers have to explain things, teachers have to check on what you've been doing. Teachers have to encourage you, but they have to tell you the truth, and they also they have to teach you how to study, how to practice. A teacher shouldn't last more than 3 or 4 years. Then I strongly recommend being on your own or finding a new teacher to have new challenges, because no teacher is perfect. Also for instruments, don't get in the habit of getting in many instruments, and then I also have a lot of methods, but instruments and methods need to be practiced. Okay, so sometimes I say, okay, this week or this month I will play mostly that instrument. Okay, I don't want to, I want to improve on that instrument. I don't want to get the new rush playing other instruments, which is sometimes good, but sometimes doesn't make us improve a lot. Okay, better instruments are good if they are paired with better playing. Okay, it's better to be a very good player on a bad instrument than the opposite. Usually, I would say that starting from an acceptable instrument, every 2 years you buy something better until you end up with a professional instrument. Okay, those are my thoughts about learning. And one thing you have to do is check things before you do something, because I forgot to have the audio for the talk and not the audio for the playing and singing. So now you can hear me better. So that was a video, because sometimes I see a lot of things on Facebook, on YouTube, and they are totally wrong, and I end up with this. If you want to learn English or Italian, listen to English and Italian. Don't listen to long-winded explanation English or Italian verbs, or vice versa. Use your insight, mostly for languages. Try to understand in what situation, in what context people use that verb, that tense, that word, to have all the coordinates, to find out, triangulation, what is the real core of the meaning of the usage of. So rules are, you start from the usage and you try to gather the when. The rule is don't start from the rule. Okay? That's for languages. Musical instruments and other things are quite different. It's quite different for languages like this. Goodbye.